Hello, ma'am.
Hi. Hi, Saket. How was the week?
Not pretty good, ma'am. Not well.
I think same was here. A lot of,
I think it's because of the weather changing.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So we are live.
Right. So, good evening, everyone. How many of you are there? Hello. Sorry, I should say good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Harshraj Thakur. Hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? How has your week been like? Let us know. Harshraj, Pranjali, Diya, Abhijit, can you share some information on MSc FinTech in Coventry University, London? Abhijit, yes, stay along with us. And at the end, we are going to share a lot of information with you all. If you're already here, I believe that you have subscribed to our channel. And do also like the session if you're like the channel, if you're going to enjoy the session. I'm sure you're going to really have a wonderful time today. Good afternoon, Mr. Chotu. Yes. So guys, how was your week? Were you really waiting for this session to come? Financial planning, study abroad, financial planning, very important, isn't it? If it is really important session for you all, type IMP in the chat box. You know, IMP होता है ना, जैसे exam में IMP चाहिए, मैम IMP दे दो, IMP दे दो. वैसे ये session ना, this session is really going to be important for you. It is good to go Canada. Is it good to go to Canada after 12th? What do you say, Saket?
Yes, it is definitely. So I think a lot of students go to Canada after 12th, ma'am. So definitely worth it.
Yes, absolutely. IMP, Ankit has already written IMP, Pranjali, IMP. Wow. Good afternoon, Suman. It's a crucial part. Absolutely, SB, it's a crucial part because you really need to know how much is going to be your expense, how much you would require. And so we are going to cover up all of these with Saket today. So yes, how many of you have been already attending a lot of our sessions, lot of Saket sessions and sessions that we both come together? Let us know if you do attend, type I in the chat box. Come on, let us know. Very confusing week, thinking of a career. Okay. Shubham Bhardwaj, I hope you are able to cover up on all of your confusions. Will you be doing US colleges? Is Australia a nice option for Masters of Business and Information Technology? A lot of questions pouring in already, Saket.
Yes, ma'am. And I think in our sessions we are seeing a lot of questions for Australia as well. So I think it's a good news for us.
Yes. What is a full form of IMP? Full form of IMP is very important. IMP, important. So it's an important session. Suman, good afternoon, Pujan, Amina, okay. Abhijit has been, Amina, Abhijit, Siddhant, they all have been attending our sessions for a long, long time. Wonderful. How many of you are new to today's session or new to any of our LeapScholar sessions? If you're new, type new in the chat box. Before we start, let us know something about you. Are you a new person? Have you been already joining us for a long time? Hello, Shireen, Seth, Zishan. Which country is better for civil engineers, USA or Canada? Is Australia a good option for Masters of Business? Masters of Business or IT? What do you say, Saket?
Well, I think both are very different fields of study. But given Australia's popularity as a study abroad destination, I think both programs are pretty popular with Indian students.
Right. Okay. So, Sparsh, we've already answered what you wanted to know. And today's, yes, Saket. So let us know our participants. What are we going to discuss today?
Right. So hi, welcome everyone. Before I start, I would like to remind you all that to be able to ask me questions, you have to be subscribed to the channel so that you can post in the comments box, in the chat box. And you can also click on the link which is being floated in the chat box. You can fill up your information and you can expect to hear from me soon on that. In today's session, we're going to talk one of the most important things when you have to study abroad, that is your finances. So, I also posted a reel on Instagram like 2 weeks, I think a week ago, and wherein I spoke about, many students find it very difficult to study abroad primarily because of finances. So in today's session, I'll try my level best to give you a best idea of, how to kind of plan ahead. So a lot of students are sort of confused and they don't really know how to start. So I'll talk all about finances, all about how you can fund your education abroad. But guys, before I start talking about all these things, one thing I have to tell you that you have to be very, very patient, and you have to do extensive budget planning and plan well in advance. So I would say at least 2 to 3 years. So in today's session, we're going to cover majorly your scholarships, grants and bursaries, your savings, education loans, your part-time jobs, industrial placements, and how our experts can help you. And of course, we'll do a side by side, we'll do a live profile evaluation.
Absolutely. Okay, so what do you all say? Should we begin with the session? What do you all say, everyone? If you really want to know, come on, let us type your ready in the chat box and let us know that you're all prepared. You're sitting with your pen pads so that you put down all the information that we are going to share with you. Apart from that, there will be quizzes which we want you to participate in. So let's see how well you are present here mentally and physically in the session. I am from very middle class family collecting money for MSS, currently working as software engineer. So SB, this is a session you cannot miss until the end because there's going to be a lot of information that will be floating in today's session. Yes, okay, ready. Everyone's ready. Ankit, Poojan, Tushar, Shivani, Abhijit, Papil, G. Hari from Kerala. After 12th, which is good for Canada. Okay, hold on, Harshraj, we will be covering up on all of them. Can we go free to Canada? I think somebody want to say that. Yes, wonderful. Yes. Yeah, Saket, shall we start?
Sure, ma'am, we can.
Okay.
Right. So to start with, before we start planning our finances, the financial planning for studying abroad, these are the few costs you have to keep in mind. Number one, obviously, why it is, I'll start with why it is important. So number one, obviously, because you'll get to know the idea how much you're exactly spending. Second, it will allow you to set a realistic budget, which is very, very important when you study abroad, because you cannot apply and then you have everything sorted and then you fall short of some amount of money. Then obviously all your hard work is going to go to waste. So it gives you a realistic budget. And lastly, no surprises ahead. If you plan well in advance, you know that, okay, I have everything sorted. And then once you land in a new country, you don't have any unexpected expenditures or expenses in front of you. So, right. So these are the, ma'am, basically, I would say around 10 odd expenses which are kind of involved in studying abroad. Number one is your Ielts coaching and your Ielts exam. So that also forms a very big chunk of your expenditure. Why? Because
absolutely, yeah, 15,000 or approximate 15,000 for the Ielts exam. That's not at all a small amount in our country at all.
Right. And plus, obviously, there are a lot of students who don't enroll themselves with LeapScholar. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah, so you can save a lot of money on that, guys. Like, we just offer like courses starting at 149 rupees, and we have brilliant trainers like Manisha ma'am right here. So what else you can ask for? You get quality.
Can I just give a brief on the Ielts coaching that we have? Just a very quick brief. So guys, if you have not started with your Ielts coaching and you know that coaching is going to be really expensive, you can start with the Ielts coaching at LeapScholar, which begins from anywhere 119 to 149, right? So, and you get every content, every material that you go and purchase outside. You need not purchase anything, because along with that 119 or 149 that you pay, you get everything: speaking, writing, and live classes, doubt solvings, extra content, this content, that content, everything that you ask for is at one stop. And apart from that, nowadays, if you're booking the exam along with the LeapScholar team, then you get 1,000 rupees Amazon voucher as well. So that is something you in fact get. So you only pay 119 or 149, but in return you get around 1,000 rupees of Amazon voucher. So if you book with the exam with us, that's a benefit that you get along with all the other things that we give you. So if those who did not know about the IELTS examination and IELTS preparation at LeapScholar, here we are. So it's a one-stop solution. Yes, Saket. So after that, what else comes up?
I didn't know that we do give like Amazon vouchers as well. So that's
yes,
great.
yes, Saket. If they book with us, so they can instead of going out and booking by themselves, they can approach us and they can book with our team. So they get this 1,000 rupees of voucher.
So technically, guys, you'll be spending just 13,700 rupees to be exact.
Yes.
For your IELTS fee. Right. So I'll move further. Apart from IELTS, obviously, if you're going for US, then you might need to appear for SAT exam for some universities. If you're going for an MBA or an MS program, some universities will require GMAT and GRE. So that also forms a major chunk of your expenses. Then we have application fees, especially for Canadian universities and colleges, because most colleges have application fee, which is around $100. And that is again 6,000 rupees. I know a very small amount, but 6,000 rupees when you're planning everything, every penny counts. Like they say, every penny spent is every penny saved is every penny
earned. One more thing here, that they won't be applying to just one university or one college, right? So even that way, it's going to multiply the number of colleges and universities that they apply to. So tentatively, as far as I remember, it goes on to minimum 25,000 if you're applying to a multiple universities.
Technically, yes. If you apply to you obviously need to keep, safe options as well. You would at least need to apply to 4 or 5 colleges, and that's going to cost you around 20 to 25,000 rupees. Especially in cases of Canada. UK universities, they're normally free, but for Canada, definitely it makes very good sense. Next up is your major chunk, which is the tuition fee. Varies as per college, universities. We have discussed that in a previous slide.
Session.
Yeah, so if you guys want to have a look, you can check it out. We discussed tuition fees for colleges, universities, for different programs in different countries. Next up, we have living costs. That again varies from country to country. Then we have visa application fee. Every country has, when you apply for your student visa, you have to pay for certain visa fee. Then some countries will require medicals. Like Canada requires medicals. And then in the UK, you have IHS, which is Immigration Health Surcharge. That is going to cost you again 50,000 rupees. That's another expense you have when you go to the UK. PCC required by New Zealand. Then we have some countries might require insurance. All international students should get insurance before the travel. Then you have your travel and airfare. Then of course it's your miscellaneous expenses, maybe reserve cash you want to carry with you, or expenses related to maybe you have to get some documents notarized and everything. So I think we should keep into account every minute, smallest to smallest expense, so that we are prepared in advance.
Right. So Saket, like you have already been there, and I know that you don't just travel. With India, you carry a lot of things along with you as you travel. So I think they also have to budget themselves to what all things they want to carry. So even that is a different expense that is incurred along with this.
Actually, that also, I think, depends on circumstances, because if it depends on which kind of country you're going to. So let's say someone who's wanting to go to Canada, it's a very, very cold country. So you need to also keep into consideration that you might have to get some winter gear when you land. And technically, wherever you go, winter gear, especially, to kind of live in minus 20 degrees, you need really good quality of winter wear. So that will cost you a lot. So I think this miscellaneous expenses cover most of these expenses. So that's from country to country.
Right. So guys, these are the basic things that you should always know. So first of all, you have this in front of you on the slide. You can take a screenshot of it, and again, then you can go ahead, find out, cross out everything, every expense that you found. Like, for example, we just mentioned that IELTS exam fees 14,700 at present, right? It depends, it varies depending on the price of dollars, right? So you have to check that. You have to check what is GRE cost, GMAT cost, what is the a fee for the application, your college that you're applying to. So what we would suggest is that you mark everything there, and then you get a tentative or an approximate amount that you would require. This is the fund that you would require basic for to cover up everything. That is tentative. Again, that's not going to be fixed, right? There will be sometimes there would be some other expenses that would come up. So this is what you should, first step is to keep in mind all of that. Which is the best for me? Okay, hold on. Canada, Dubai, Mohan will be taking up your question in a while. Any course for university planned? Okay, so I hope you have understood the basic planning. Should we go ahead, Saket? Any
Sure.
questions if you have, please, guys, regarding the cost and finances that we are discussing? If you have any questions based on that, you can put it here in the chat box and we'll be taking it up. Yes. So the next is scholarship, grants, and bursaries. Now, when everything is so expensive, the first thing that comes to mind is, will I get a scholarship? And here we are also going to discuss, I guess, grants and bursaries. So, Saket, will you be also explaining to the people, because I don't think everyone knows what is a bursary and a scholarship, the difference.
So I think when that's the scholarships are the most I think in demand
Right.
topics I have to kind of speak to students about, because they ask me a lot of questions regarding scholarships. So scholarships, grants, and bursaries are three kind of financial aids you can get from a college or university. So scholarships, they are very different than, say, grants or bursaries, because scholarships are generally merit based. So it depends on your academic excellence. If you've done something exemplary at school or college, you've been a community leader, you have excellent English language scores, then scholarships are basically awarded on those factors. But when we talk about grants and bursaries, some grants and bursaries can be merit-based, but mostly they are need-based. So someone who's not from, I would say, who cannot afford to say, pay their fee or a living expense or something like that, grants and bursaries are more suited for those kind of students. So someone who's
Right.
need-based.
Right.
When I talk about scholarships, like we all know that, if we talk about any country, be it US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, all these countries have a really large Indian community. And Indians have really kind of contributed to the economy. So every country, be it Australia, New Zealand, or UK, especially UK for that matter, they offer a lot of India specific scholarships. So why I tell my students to focus on India specific scholarships, because the competition becomes really less. Because when we apply to a scholarship which is for all international students, kind of competing with students from all over the world, but when you apply for India specific scholarships, then obviously you have more chances.
Right.
So giving an example, Deakin University has an India scholarship. That's in Australia. Then Cardiff University in UK, they have an India scholarship, which is specifically for Indian students. So try and look for Indian scholarships. And I think a lot of students ask me, ki, sir, yahan pe kaun si scholarship hai, yahan pe kaun si scholarship hai. See, guys, I am also a human being. I'll not remember all the scholarships on top of my head. But if you want to apply for scholarships, I am sorry, but I'm sorry to break it to you, but you have to do the hard work. Because at any given time, any university, I'm talking about good universities, will offer hundreds of scholarships. Like, if you search Australian universities or UK universities, every university will offer, close to 150, 200 scholarships. So remembering each and every scholarship for a counselor or for a study abroad expert is also not possible. So you have to do the hard work. So if you want to study abroad and if you want to get a scholarship, I would say research as soon as you can. Just start right now.
Right. I have a couple of questions on this bank GIC and all of that. Ankit is asking, will the bank cover GIC?
Will the banks cover GIC?
I guess he's talking about loans.
Loans. Ankit, I'll be answering. Okay, I'll answer that question right now. A lot of financial institutions, they cover your living expenses as well. I think if you're looking at Canada, obviously, because GIC is for Canada, you can check out Leap Finance.
Yes.
You can get your GIC covered under that as well.
Right. So I think now you've understood the difference between bursary and a scholarship, because in India, we are mostly so academic oriented. Students know that they'll have to perform well if they want to get into the best colleges. So the only thing that comes into mind is a scholarship. But if there is any person around you who is like somebody here asked me that I am from a middle class family and I will have to cover up all the expenses. So guys, you can also look for bursaries. So bursaries, Saket, how are bursaries granted? Are they granted by government or are they granted by even private institutes?
Ma'am, bursaries and grants are basically either by private donors or government organizations or NGOs. Bursaries and grants, they're not. I would say they're not high value. I would say financial aids. They can be as less as say $500 or maybe $1,000 or maybe even $2,000. That entirely depends. But even if you get like $1,000, $2,000 or something, I think it makes a very, very big impact on your overall budget. Technically, let's say because $2,000, you can actually cover your 2 months of living or almost like 2 months of living expenses in Canada. So technically, it helps you save anyway. So there's no harm in applying. You never know. Like there are students I know who got like 3-4 bursaries together and kind of added up to like $5,000, $6,000 as well.
Wonderful.
So that's a possibility.
So yeah, here I think then your question also gets answered. Papil Hari is asking, can we have more than one scholarship at a time?
Scholarship, ma'am, I think that varies. That varies as per universities as well. Some universities will allow you to have more than one scholarship, but some may not. So let's say if you get a 50% scholarship, so especially the scholarships which are really high value, like 50% or 100%, then obviously you cannot. So that's a standard rule. But there are some universities that may allow you to get another scholarship, maybe from a private donor or something. But then again, it varies from university to university. But mostly, I think it's you cannot. You can only get one scholarship at a time. But yeah, for grants and bursaries, that kind of varies. There are scholarships. There are some scholarships wherein you get automatically considered, as in when you apply for the scholarships. When you apply for college, they automatically kind of consider your application as a scholarship application as well. And then you might get offer letter with scholarship already added to it. So that is also the case, especially true, and this is especially true with Australian universities.
Right, true. Because even my son, we did not specially apply for it, but then as we applied, he automatically got 2,000 euros of scholarship from the university itself.
Right.
So yeah. So here one question is coming up from Sujata: grants and bursaries, is it to be paid back once we get a job?
Not really, Sujata. Now that also varies. There are some scholarships as well. I think there is one Aga Khan scholarship in which it's a fully funded scholarship, but you have to return 50% of it after you graduate, as in after you graduate and get a job. So there are some scholarship. It kind of varies. Not every bursary or grant has to be returned. I would say at least 95% grants and bursaries are not to be returned. There are a few. There are a few, but not. I think mostly are like you do not have to return at all.
Right. So here again, early deadlines is given over here. So does that mean that they really have to start their application process early?
Right. So early deadlines, as in like the university may tell you, okay, the deadline to apply for so-and-so program is January. But to be considered for a scholarship, you have to apply by December. So you have to plan accordingly. Then there are some universities which will tell you, okay, we do not require a GMAT or GRE. But if you want to be considered for a scholarship, then you might have to give a GMAT score as well. So there are universities like that as well. So you have to plan very well in advance. So I would say if you're planning to go 23, someone who's from 23 intake, September, start planning right now if you're looking at scholarships, because I know you can only apply once it opens up, but you have a good amount of information so that, by the time, the application is due, you have all the information with you and, you don't have to run here and there and, collect information and documents. You have everything in place and you can straight away start applying.
Wonderful. So guys, before we go on further, I think we have given you great information on bursaries and grants, which people actually don't know much about beyond scholarships. So if you really learned something new in today's session, type "we learned" in the chat box and let us know and give us some more motivation to give more information to you guys. Age limits for scholarship, we are coming to that. But first, let us know. Show us your love, guys. You're all here, 97 people, and we would really want to see of course, Saket comes up, spends a lot of time bringing all this information to you, doing all the R&D and coming up with all of this information to you. Right now, nobody might have told you about bursaries and grant, that I am very sure of. So do let us know. And of course, Saket, and it will be really motivating for us. Learned, yes. Abhinandan says learned. Ankit says learned. Diksha is giving learned. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Babal. And do share this session with your friends. There would be many people who would want to know a lot on grants, bursaries, and scholarships, and the further things that we are going to share with you all. So thank you, guys. Thank you for all the love over here. Yeah, I think I have a question for everyone. Shall we ask them the question? Yes, and let us see how informed you are in today's session, as what information Saket has given to us. So do all scholarships require separate applications? Is it true or false? Let me know. Let us know.
Right, guys. So do all scholarships require separate applications or no? Pretty easy question.
Yes, we just discussed it. We just discussed it. Basic questioning regarding UK YMS. Yes, Shubham, we will be covering up in a while. We'll take up your question. Saket sir is amazing. Yes, let us know more. Show us some love for Saket. Come on, guys.
That's totally flattering for me. It's just that, so much love.
Guys. If they really love you, they really love you actually, because see, they know the difference. They know how what information they avail over here. Shubham is saying false, SB is saying false, Manoj is saying false. So what do you think? Is there any scholarship of MBBS in Korea?
Korea is something beyond my understanding, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay,
it's actually coming up. South Korea is pretty coming up as an education destination. So I'm not really sure about, I think I've got a lot of queries about Korea as well. I'm not really sure about, how the system works there, but South Korean universities, some of them, I think Seoul National University and Incheon University, they're pretty high ranked and pretty at par with, I would say, Western universities. So I don't think so. It's a problem. If you get, I think they're cheaper as well as compared to US or UK for that matter.
Wow. So yes. We I don't know what Saket, but everyone's saying false, and they're saying B, false. That you don't need to apply it separately. Do all scholarships require separate applications? No, not all applications require a separate application. We just discussed the case. So yes, most of you are paying attention to that. And sir, do credit limit can be? Can credit limit? I think what he wants to say is some anonymous. A credit limit can be used to pay fee in spite of taking loan. I didn't get the question actually.
I think some people, that's, I think, sort of a credit limit is, I think, you get from the bank. I'm not really sure because I'm a very, I would say, bad
basic
planner. I'm not really.
Have you basic information on banks and loans and all of?
See, guys, I'm not bad at like financial planning for studying abroad or something, because that's, I'm very bad at financial planning for myself. So don't take it in that way. I'm pretty good at advising students on financial planning, but that does not apply to me. So that's what I meant actually. So limit thing, ma'am, that's I think you get it from the bank or something. But I think his name is anonymous. Yeah. So I think if you get the money, and I think you still have to pay sort of some interest on that. Wherever you get the money from, as long as it's from it's in your account, and you're going to Canada or UK, that's fine. Otherwise, in Australia, they might ask you the money source. A lot of universities do ask.
Yes, right. That's true. USA scholarship, and they're asking about a lot of scholarship, USA scholarship, Australia scholarship, and UK scholarship separately. A lot of questions that were coming up.
Right. Scholarships, I told you, this is like one of the most hot favorite topic for everyone. Guys, scholarship is not that easy. It's it's not that you wake up one day, okay, मेरे को scholarship चाहिए. ऐसे नहीं है. You have to plan in advance.
Right, right. It is something that scholarship कोई आके ऐसे पैसा नहीं दे देता है आपको, right? ठीक है, आज हमारा मूड हो गया तो चलो आप आज ले जाओ, तो ऐसे कोई पैसे बढ़ते नहीं है कहीं भी. So I would say that, as Saket has said, that do go and check, do your research as well. And yes, of course, that's what you will have to do. So the next topic that we are discussing, is there any age limit for scholarships?
Age limit, not really, as long as you're accepted into the course, but some government funded scholarships may have certain age limits. But scholarships funded by universities, normally they don't. As long as you accepted into the course, and they're happy to give you scholarship, I don't think so age kind of matters a lot. But yeah, I would say somehow if you are below 35s, so the chances are a little bit higher.
Right. I have a
yes.
Rajesh, but I want to say that we are covering Rajesh's question in the next slide. Can you let me know about collateral and non-collateral, which we are covering up? So Rajesh, do stay with us because that's coming up in the next slide. Yes, Saket, how can students save?
Right.
Or so use savings?
Savings. Okay, savings, guys. So I think I'll start with the UG people. Obviously, someone who's going for a bachelor's degree, savings is not something I would say possible for you guys, primarily because you're just out of school and you haven't started working or anything like that. So here I mean to say is support from your family. So that will entirely depend how much your family can fund. So fortunately, we live in a country like India where our families are so supportive of our dreams. Our parents, they kind of go beyond their means sometimes to kind of make sure what we want to do in life, and they're earning for us and stuff like that. So I think a lot of students from India expect financial support from families, which doesn't happen say in Canada or UK. The countries are very I think different. Parents are attached to their kids, but they're not expected to kind of fund their education. So that's true, guys. You should thank your parents that they can support you. They can support your study education, study abroad education. So as long as you're getting some sort of support from your family, you're good to go. For PG students, someone who's going for PG, there are some students who want to go right after they graduate out of, college. But if you think that money is an issue, I would say get 2 years of experience. That's going to help you in two ways. Number one, it's going to get you experience, and obviously when you have experience, your profile is better and you can get a better college and university. The chances of acceptance are high. Number two, you can save money. Even if you save, let's say, a certain amount every month, I would say that YouTube is full with investment sort of videos where all you can invest, FDs. I'm not really sure about investments. Like I said, I'm very bad at financial planning for myself. So you can invest into cryptos. Everything is in so much in trend. You can just watch so many people discussing the best investments in just 1 year or something like that. So start investing, and then once after 2 years you have some sort of savings in place. Then obviously I'm pretty much sure that's not going to cover all your expenses, but then obviously combining your savings plus education loan can actually help you in securing, making your dream come true without being dependent on anyone else in your family. So technically you will be more in a much better place to sort of, fund your education yourselves. So that is one tip I want to give here for savings. Next is obviously once you have everything sorted, what kind of money you're getting from your family, how much your family can support you, how much investment did you make, and how much savings do you have. You set a realistic budget. And by realistic budget, I mean, let's say you save 20 lakh rupees. Hypothetically, you save 20 lakh rupees and you can only afford to take, say, 10 lakh rupees education loan. So technically your budget is 30 lakh rupees. And then when your budget is 30 lakh rupees, and you're looking at a university which, the tuition fee is just 50 lakh rupees. So that is unrealistic, right? So you have to set a realistic budget. I would say there are a lot of universities which are, not very expensive, but still, they have low tuition fee. So just make sure that your budget kind of resonates with the kind of university you choose, because that's very important. Most students think that, yeah, and that is true anyway, because most high-end universities, the top ranking ones, are generally expensive. Anywhere we talk, like Harvard or MIT or Stanford, even in Australia for that matter, UK, all high-end universities are considered expensive. But guys, there are a lot of universities, especially in the case of US, you have, State University of New York, the state universities basically, which are public universities. They're equally highly ranked, and the fee is almost like 1/3 of the, let's say, Harvard or MIT sort of thing. So just set realistic budget. And obviously savings play a very, very important role.
Right. Okay, so now that you know about savings, so there's a different, like those who are going for UG, they have to, because they have not earned so far, they definitely will have to take support from their families. And those who are going for PGs and masters, if you have some work experience, you might have saved something for yourself or your studies, and that will definitely help you. So great, wonderful. So a lot of information that has come up on savings. Guys, you already now know that how important it is to save. Jeet Kumar is asking, okay, thank you for the information, Saket. I would like to understand, does age factor come into consideration, like scholarship after graduation, work, PR, like about 35, so on? So is age factor?
See, 35 is, I think, people I think people think that 35 is is not relevant, as in, like, it's too late to study or something like that. But let me tell you one thing that I think I have told that in some other session as well, that there was this lady in my class, final year of my degree, and she was 42, and she was doing a third year of her degree. There are students like that. So 35 is nothing, yeah. So when we talk about visa part, the PR part, yeah, it might kind of reduce your points at the later stage. I'm not a PR expert, but I can tell you one thing, that if you complete your degree or something, and once you have a job offer, as long as the employer is ready to sponsor you, or you have the relevant points, then that doesn't matter at all. But the visa thing might kind of get affected, especially when you cross 35. And that is true in case of Canada. But UK is pretty flexible. I've seen students, one of my students, he was like 38, 39. He went for an executive MBA program. So he was way older than I was. And, he's I think he's already done his master's. So that's not a problem at all.
Right. So a lot of people here were asking us questions on post-12th and post-UG and post-graduation and so. So let us know, what are you applying for? Are you applying for UG? So will you be taking help from your parents? So if you are in 12th, write 12th, or you are in 11th, write 11th. Or if you are completing your graduation, type grad. Or if you are already completed with your PG and want to apply for masters, you can type that. Let us know what is your status and how would you be looking out for the savings or funds. So further, we are discussing now. Do let us know. Come on, guys. And of course, you have a chance to again connect with Saket. If there is any question, because today we are covering mostly on the financial aspect. So if you have any questions related to finances or what we are discussing in today's session, please post in the chat section. We will take up your questions. For post-grad, for grad, okay, we have already started getting the questions. Okay, their responses. Yes. So what about education loans, Saket?
Right. So this is I would say, after scholarships and savings, this is the third most popular option, education loans. So education loans, I remember when back in the day when I went to study abroad, education loans, they were a hassle to apply, because obviously it took a lot of time. And I remember the whole process took me around 2.5, 3 months, because of the whole, how Indian banks work basically. And and to add to my worries, I got the education loan from a government bank. So you can very well imagine, it was a nightmare for me. So
yes.
So yeah, they tell you, okay, get this document, blah, blah, blah. I know it was totally a mess that time, but thankfully, guys, things have changed now. So as a, as we kind of, as a country, we develop more, our banking systems have kind of got more efficient, and thankfully a lot of government banks have also kind of introduced computers in their system, and also that the whole workflow is a little bit faster now. So loans can be either collateral free or they can be with collateral. So that depends on which financial institution you go to. So here I would like to pitch in Leap Finance, so which is again part of LeapScholar. Like we have Ielts prep, then we have study abroad. Then if you're wanting study abroad, you need funds. For that we have Leap Finance. So Leap Finance offers you collateral free loans for Canada and US at this point. So you can get in touch with them. You can visit the website www.leapfinance.com, and you can actually avail a collateral free loan, and everything is done online. You don't have to visit anywhere. You don't have to meet a certain person or whatever. Everything is digital. Just go online, fill a form. It's very simple. Next important thing when we talk about education loan is interest rates. So interest rates are somewhere around, they hover around like 13 to 15% as well. So just make sure whenever, I'm not really sure about, what the private banks are offering right now, but interest rates, just make sure that you check 2-3 options before you finalize on one, because everyone would be willing to give you an education loan, but interest rates, make sure that you haggle with them, get the best interest rate possible. Next is be very, very aware of the exchange rates, because after the loan is disbursed, there may be cases wherein when the money was transferred on a certain day, then the value of rupee was less or more or whatsoever. So it kind of creates, I would say, maybe a difference of a few dollars or something. Sometimes it can go up to as huge as hundreds of dollars as well. So make sure that you check the exchange rates whenever you transfer the money. Just wait if the dollar is going high or low whatsoever. Just yeah. So
yes.
Most students actually they're very restless, and they're like, okay, we want to get done with it. Even if you see, if the university has given you a deadline to kind of submit the fee by, let's say, next week, if you do it next week, that's fine. You don't have to do it this week only. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you check the exchange rates. So that's very important.
Right.
Next up is grace period. After how long you graduate, you have to pay back. So look out for that as well. See if the banks offer flexible payment options. And the best tip here I can give you is, once you land in a certain country, even if you save like $20, $30 a week, just put it in a piggy bank, or maybe put it somewhere out where you don't, where it's safe and you don't kind of spend it. Over the time, and kind of the money grows, and you can easily start paying off after you graduate. So education loans, very important. And interest rates as well. And last is also look, I haven't kind of written it here in the slide. Last is obviously look for what's the processing time. So we at Leap Finance, you can get your loan kind of, I'll not say disbursed, but sanctioned. Yeah, sanctioned in like just 3 days. So it's as low as 3 days. So you can check out Leap Finance. Other banks might take 1 month. So just
Saket, I feel like asking a question to everyone right now. So because you discussed about the exchange rates, let us ask everyone that what is the exchange rate for dollar at the moment, Canadian dollar, because most of them are going to Canada, or if you're planning for Australia or US, should we ask them? Guys, what is your knowledge? Let us know how aware you are about the dollar rate, and as of now, or it could be euros rate if you're planning to, whichever country you're planning to, Canadian, CAD, whichever you are planning to. Let us know how informed you are about the dollar rate, so that we know that you're all really paying attention to and you're really serious about your savings and fundings. Gaurav is saying 65. For what? Which country? You have to let us know that. 65 for which country?
I think he means Canada only.
75 to 80 INR. Biba is saying 75 to 80.
I'm not very good at exchange rates either.
We are not really just 100. As of now, I don't think it is 100. Okay, you can just Google up right now and let us know. You can also Google up. 100 is pound. It's not, yeah, that's true. It's not that. Gaurav 65, 75 to 80, 80, 88 was, I think, euros last week. 103.31 is £1. Ashna, oh my God. See, you already now know how much it's going to cost you. See, this is your first step to knowing what you are going to spend in the further. So when they say that it is just 100 euros or 100 pounds or $100, it's not just 100 for us. We also have to multiply it.
I remember
Euro.
back in the day when I went to the UK, the pound was around 70, and I think Canadian dollars was like 40ish, less than that. New Zealand dollars was like 30 rupees or something,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
70 rupees used to be like, oh my God, that's too much, and now it's like touching 110. So,
Yes, exactly. Pound is 103. That's what Ashna just, I think, Googled up. She's saying 103.31 is pound, £1 at the moment. US is 74.8. Euro is 80 to 90. Yes, that's fluctuating in between that. Canadian dollars 55 to 60 INR. Wow. So now they're getting informed. Now, first step, already taken the first step to knowing more. So guys, if you're scoring, I also have one more thing to share with all of you all. This is just come up. If you're enjoying the session, you can also take a selfie with our session and send it to us on our Instagram handle. You can message us over there and we will feature you on our Instagram stories. Let us see how many of you are attending the session. You can take your selfie. We'll feature you, really. We'll feature you. That would be interesting, Saket, right? Seeing them. How many of them? We always see them with their names. It would be good to see them with their faces attending the session.
Totally, ma'am. Always, always.
Yes, right. So that was about educational loans, and we also talked about collaterals and non-collaterals. So we had a question from someone. So I think that your question has been answered now. So the next quiz is how much time. $1 Canadian is 60.64 INR. Lambton College is good for co-op. So how much time does it approximately loan sanction? Come on, now let us know.
So yeah, it's A, B, C, or D.
Nilesh has a very, I would say, sincere or funny question. He says, what happens if we run out of funds after reaching Canada after some years?
Well, after some years, as in, I think you mean to say after you already have your postgraduate diploma in hand, your postgraduate, whatever degree you have in your hand and you on a postgraduate work permit, then Nilesh, you are on your own. You have to find work.
Yes, nothing else
and
can happen.
Just to give you a heads up, finding work also requires a lot of hard work. So just make sure if you're interested to study abroad, then be prepared to hustle really, really hard.
Okay, answer. Gaurav is saying 1 month. Shubham is saying C, that is 1 month again. Gautam, C, 1 month. Poojan, C, SBC. Everyone's saying C, 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 C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, 5. Fiza is saying 15 days. So what about the rest of you guys? What did you hear? What did you just hear about? How approximately how much time does it take for the loans to get sanctioned?
I think ma'am jo bol rahe hain sab C, for all the C's and B's and A's, guys, come to Leap Finance. It's D, 3 days. I told you just a few moments ago. I told you that just 3 days.
So if you want your loans to be cleared within 3 days, no one would give you such fast. Even I think sometimes Amazon, Myntra delivery doesn't come within 3 days, and you get your loan sanctioned in 3 days is something really phenomenal. I would say nobody can do that anyway. So if you want to get your loan sanctioned within 3 days, come to Leap Finance. 9 years experience in marketing, commerce, graduate from Mumbai University with passing mark. Am I eligible for non-collateral?
Well, I think you have to get in touch with Leap. I don't handle the credits part because, like I said, I'm not a financial guy. So just upload your information and see what quote you get.
Yes, Akshay, we do provide loan for masters in Canada. So you should come to Leap and get your loan sanctioned within 3 days. Nothing better than this can happen anywhere. LeapScholar, yes, 3 days only at LeapScholar. Bank 1 month. See the difference. Sujata is all writing the difference.
She's explained it perfectly.
Yeah, Niagara College or Conestoga, which is better? For what?
Both are good. Both are public colleges, but see, there's no choice as such. To be honest, I think both are good colleges, and both have impeccable, I would say, sort of education system and kind of courses they offer. So you cannot go wrong with any. So choose anything, I think. But if I had to choose, I'll choose Niagara College. That's my personal opinion.
I'll take one question from Shubham because he's been asking right from the beginning of session.
Yeah.
UK YMS. Basic question.
Yeah. So Shubham, that youth mobility scheme is something sponsoring your own work permit sort of thing. That kind of was applicable to countries like, especially the Commonwealth countries and the developed countries like someone from New Zealand or Australia or US could apply for a YMS visa. But I've also heard the news that the UK is including India as well, but I don't think so. There has been any official information from the British High Commission or anyone whatsoever. And plus, I think I'm not a work permit expert, so just check out UK Border Agency website if you can find any information out there.
Right. So yeah, and what about now? We have discussed scholarships, we have discussed bursaries, grants, savings, bank loans and all. So now we come to another financial aspect that comes from is part-time jobs.
Right. So part-time jobs, again, guys, very important, I would say, element of your study abroad journey. But obviously, iske liye bhi you have to start planning as soon as once you receive your visa in hand. Start researching before you leave, because it gives you a heads up that what you can expect. I think most of us, we are so used to, I think I blame Instagram for it. I have seen a lot of reels, like everyone who's studying abroad is making reels, but everyone has a different story. Guys, don't start believing someone just because they're dancing and doing some random moves and telling you, okay, this is what you can earn, blah blah blah. See, I know they're doing pretty well for themselves, but it takes time to actually get there. It's not that you land in Canada or you land in UK and you get the part-time job next day. It's not going to happen. So you have to plan very well in advance. Get your CV done first. Make sure you have a good CV before you leave. Just check out if your CV is relevant to the Canadian format or not, if it's relevant to the UK format or not. So you have to do that as well. Next up, also estimate realistic earnings. So someone would say they're earning like $19 per hour or $20 per hour. So not always possible, right? There are people I know who also work at around $14 or maybe $15 or maybe even less than that. So make sure that you factor in lowest earnings possible, so that you have an idea, okay, this is how much I'm going to earn and this is my expenses. So once you have your accommodation sorted, you'll know that how much you're going to spend in your accommodation, how much you want to spend in your food. Like I always tell you that to cut down on your expenses, just make sure that you this should be your first step. Actually, go to the kitchen and help your mothers. Just learn how to cook.
Sure.
Like in my family, I knew cooking before I left, because I was already taught how to kind of iron my own clothes, or maybe do my dishes, or maybe clean the washrooms. I think a lot of Indian students face that problem abroad a lot. I've seen in my friend circles as well. They don't know how to cook, they don't know how to kind of iron their clothes, they don't know how to kind of wash their laundry. Do that, because that's how you're going to save money. Because when if you go abroad, if you go to a laundromat or something, you're going to spend like $5, $6, spending all the money there. Rather, if you have a washing machine at home and you do, if you can iron yourself, that's going to save you a lot of money. Learn to cook, because that's the most expensive part. Because once you move abroad, you want to eat all your butter chickens and dal makhnis and stuff. It's going to cost you a lot. Trust me, it's very expensive. Learn how to cook yourself. YouTube, when I was abroad, I didn't have that luxury, because YouTube was not as popular as it is now. So I used to call my mother back home. Okay, I have to make koftas today. How to make it? I used to call her and ask. Right now, you guys, you have YouTube. Just learn, just learn cooking, and that's how you can save money. And part-time job. Even if you earn $15, let's say if you spend $15 just for food outside every day, even if you're eating like 3 meals a day outside, then obviously you can expect to, in the UK, I can tell you can easily spend like close to like 30 to 40 pounds.
Correct.
If you're eating fancy meals. So learn how to cook. It's going to, because 30-40 pounds mein you can get your pura ek hafte ka ration. Just imagine.
Absolutely. I would totally second that, because that's a skill we believe that, yes, of course, Indian students, either the parents do or we have the domestic help that does, who does everything here. But then when you go abroad, there's no domestic help. No one else who's going to do anything for you. You are on your own. Of course, you can hire, you can pay, but then that's going to burn a hole in your pockets, and you don't want that. And we're already paying hefty for everything. You know that we asked you the conversion rate, and now you know that it's been so high. One for them, it's just one. They may say, oh, it costs only €1, but for us, it's 100 rupees, almost 100 rupees. So for us, we have to be very careful in spending. So whatever you earn, you of course start learning. This is really important. I think survival skills, I would say, all these are survival skills you must know. And I have a very question from Gaurav is saying that can international student do YouTube and earn from it as a part-time job in Canada legally?
Yes, you can. See, here's a catch. So technically, Canada allows you to freelance as well. So that's perfectly fine. But when we talk about UK, UK is very particular, because when you are on a study visa, you cannot be earning, you cannot be, I would say, getting payments into your UK account, because if that is linked to your, the taxes, the NI number and stuff like that. I'm not really sure how it works, but you're not allowed to freelance as well. So that's something I would say, aside, I would say, an advice, make sure you don't get the payments in your account there. So that's how you can freelance as well. So a lot of students do that. Start building your profile right now. I think if you can freelance, if you get some gigs from, for YouTube, or maybe writing, or maybe editing, anything like that, just do it. Canada, it's legal. You can.
Okay. And Paris is asking, part-time job opportunities, Niagara Falls area or Bradford, Ontario. Where is it better?
See, as far as I know, Paris, Niagara Falls area is major touristy area. It has a lot of bars and pubs and restaurants and hotels. So I think Brantford is like not a very, very big city. I'm not really sure about it, but that's what I have heard from my students. So Niagara Falls area is, I think, more preferable for a part-time job, because, and plus most students work in hospitality sector only. So getting a job would be easier, I think.
Right. So how much money do we require? Devesh has been asking, how much money do we require to show to the Australian Visa Committee for study there?
Devesh, you would have to pay your tuition fee. That would be, depending on your university. Apart from that, I think it's around, Australia is closed for the last 1.5 years now. But the last time I checked, it was around $21,000.
Right.
21,000.
Okay.
I'm not really sure about the exact figure. Right. So I think we should cover a lot of information. It's already like 3.
Yeah. Industrial placements. Today we have been, I think, discussing a lot from the students also. Right? Industrial placements. Yes, Saket.
I'll quickly wrap it up. I think a lot of students have seen my videos. If you haven't, if you go to LeapScholar channel, I've done 2 videos. One is on sandwich degrees, which is for UK, and one is for co-programs, which is for Canada. So industrial placements, again, one of UK, it's a very, both countries, it's a very great way to earn a lot of money. But do mind that if you choose to do any of these programs, the duration of a degree also increases. So technically your living cost also increases. But if we talk about co-programs in general, Canada, obviously it's a best country to actually if you want to do an industrial placement with your studies. UK, you do get options. Australia, you do get options, but they're not as common as Canada. It can be paid off. It can be used to pay your tuition fee. I know some student of mine in University of British Columbia in Canada. He earned close to $60,000 to $70,000 within his co-program. and he was able to pay his tuition fee as well. So technically, he earned more than his tuition fee.
Oh.
So that's also possible. So
Right.
you can also save money to pay off your education loan at a later date. So industrial placements, if you are getting an option, you should go ahead with it, because it kind of saves you money and helps you finance your overall education.
Right. So which country offers best options in terms of paid industrial placements? Australia, Ireland, Canada, and UK. Let us see your answer. Shivani, ma'am, please suggest some good university for masters in media management.
Media management. Shivani, I think if you want to go to Canada, then for media programs, I think Ryerson University is good. And if you want to go to a college or something, Humber and Centennial, they offer good media programs. In the UK, media programs, London College of Communication is good. De Montfort is good. Apart from that, Arts University, Bournemouth, and University of the Creative Arts, University for the Creative Arts.
Right. So the answers that we are getting is Sam, Sujata, Gaurav answering Canada, 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 Canada. Canada is the best country that offers the best options in terms of paid industrial placements.
Totally.
Yes.
Land of opportunities.
That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason it's called the land of opportunities. What should be the total cost of 2 years MSc at Concordia University?
I'm not really sure about the fee for Concordia. I don't remember on top of my head, but I think MSc that also varies. If you're doing a business program, that tends to be more expensive. But Concordia is not a very expensive university. I don't think so. It should actually cost you more than like 30 to 35 lakh rupees.
Right.
Given that I don't really remember the tuition fee, to be honest, I cannot remember each and every number.
Yeah, you cannot. Of course, there are hundreds of universities, and remembering every university and every course is different.
Yeah, it's just so overwhelming sometimes, like I get messages and they're like, sir, iska kya hai, iska kya? Like, I have to look for it, just give me some time. I cannot just remember everything.
Right, exactly. Sakshi is asking, are the tuition fee taken for 1 year or 3 years?
Sakshi, if you're going to any country, I think most countries, I think talking about Canada here, you need to pay 1 year, even for Australia.
Yes. Okay. So talking to the experts, why must students talk to experts?
Right. So guys, like this session, obviously, I think this is a very limited time we have, just 1 hour, and we're talking to so many students. But I think most of you would have got some sort of idea that how to kind of, what kind of money factors you can look at, what kind of, scholarships you can get, where all you can seek financial help. So talking to experts, when you get a one-on-one counseling, it gives you that clear idea that how to budget properly. And I would say once you take help of a from a study abroad expert, they already have years of experience, kind of guiding students on, choosing universities and shortlisting universities depending on budget and how to set a budget. So experience does matter after all. So make sure that you get help, because in case you kind of mess up in finances or anything like that, like I said, it can be a dead end head wherein you land in a new country. And I think when Nilesh said that after a few years, you maybe, when you run out of funds, then that situation might actually happen to you once you land. So I would say to avoid that situation, please get help from from a study abroad expert. They can help you with that, and they can help you with scholarship applications as well. So, but for that, you need one-on-one counseling, and you can get counseling from LeapScholar, like I said.
Yes. One question that I'm getting on bank loan is, Suraj is asking, will bank give loans for blocked account?
Blocked as in, I'm not really sure if you mean by that, if your credit history is not good, or you have kind of, not been able to kind of clear your debt.
CIBIL is not good.
No, I don't think so. I think no one can give you loan, I think, if you don't have a good CIBIL or something. Because I think
Yes.
if you have a blocked account, then your CIBIL is not good anyway, right?
Yes, absolutely. Then, of course, the first thing the banks will check is the CIBIL. Yeah. So any loan, whoever you are, or any loan that they are you have applied for, the first thing they'll check is your CIBIL. So if your CIBIL is good only, then otherwise they'll start asking questions. And if they don't find your account or your profile to be strong enough, they may reject your loan or application as well.
Straight away, I think it could be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. So so talk to experts and get your queries sorted. Here we are trying to give you as much information as we can, and that's a very limited time, but you can get all your queries one-on-one sorted when you're discussing with an expert. That can be that can be done by connecting with any good counselor. LeapScholar has its own counseling process. You can apply for a free one-on-one counseling call. Your first call will be free, where you can get your queries sorted and answered, and then you can go for the further process with the Leap team as well. So for that, you need to go to the Leap website, and yes, just click and just get a free call booked. After student after student diploma, shall I take 1 or 2 questions, Saket?
I think you have a class as well, right?
Just in 2 minutes, yeah. So I'll just take a wrap up in one question. Pupinder is asking, sir, I have 60% in BCom and qualified Indian CA and CFA L1. With these qualifications, can I get into the Russell Group University in the UK?
Yes, Pupinder, you can. Lot of universities. But I would say don't look at very high-end universities like LSE or Oxford, Cambridge, but you can get into some sort of Russell Group. I think Southampton will take you, Cardiff will take you, Nottingham can take you, Newcastle is okay, Glasgow is also fine, Birmingham as well, I think.
Wonderful. Yeah, guys, so if you still are waiting for your queries to be answered, then you can connect with Saket with the form that we have provided to you. It's been pinned on the chat section. You can just go ahead, click on that link, fill up a form, fill up your queries in that form, and then you can wait for Saket to respond to your queries. And of course, you have to be patient. There are thousands of students who are connecting with Saket every day. So he's trying to cover up all of your queries, but with some patience.
Right.
Thank you, Saket. It was a wonderful session and really enjoyed today's session. A lot of information on financial funding, savings, and bursaries. I think that is a word that is ringing a bell, because I think I never heard anyone talk about it earlier. I didn't know about it, but then the only thing that comes up with everyone is scholarship. So that was something that I also recalled. Yes, this is something no one ever discusses. So a lot of information I think you have received today. And if you really enjoyed our session, you really liked our session, do click on the like button. Before you leave the session, do click on the like button and share it with your friends and families and even with your parents. If all those who are in the UG, share it with your parents so they know about your entire financial planning. So they have a clarity on what would be required further. Actually, I think your parents need to watch this session. Yes. So if your parents have not watched and if they have missed, share with them, and yes, let them go through the entire session. And of course, they will come out, sort out, and now everyone will know how much time it would take covering up on all of this, the documents that will be required, the exam fees that you will have to prepare for, the visa fee that you will have to be prepared for. So thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Saket. Wonderful being with you here.
Same here, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a good day, guys. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
Yes, see you all. Bye-bye. Take care.